Imagine the chief law enforcement officer of the United States sitting before Congress, refusing to condemn a man caught on camera screaming, "Kill him!" at police officers because that man now works for her. We are witnessing the absolute dismantling of the Department of Justice, where ethics teams are being gutted and investigative units are vanishing just as the people at the top start cashing in. This week, a male congressman from Colorado went toe-to-toe with Attorney General Pam Bondi, and what he uncovered is enough to make any taxpayer's blood boil. From the hiring of January 6 defendants to the strange disappearance of the crypto enforcement team, the Daily Report has the receipts on how the DOJ is being redesigned to protect power, not the public. Stick around and watch how this unfolds, because this isn't just a hearing, it's an exposure of a system in freefall. The tension in the room was thick from the jump. You have to watch Pam Bondi's body language here. She looks like she's trying to hide in plain sight.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Here. Attorney General Bondi, 6 days ago, you posted online, quote, "If you come for law enforcement, the Trump administration will come for you," end quote. I want to show you just a brief video. It's about 30 seconds, and I'll ask you a couple questions about it.
You guys are disgusting. I'm former law enforcement. You're disgusting. You are the Nazi. You are the Gestapo. You can't see it because you're chasing your pension, right? Your pension, your retirement, right? That's what runs your life. Your retirement.
The sad thing is, they're not even going to get their pension because it's going to be worthless.
And shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Attorney General Bondi, that man works for you now, right?
Who was that, Congressman?
The man in that video, the one who was in the police-worn body cam footage, the one allegedly yelling, "Kill him," at police officers on January 6th, his name is Jared Wise.
He does work for us.
He works for you at the Department of
Yes,
Justice.
He does.
This is an individual whom a federal grand jury indicted for 2 felonies and 4 misdemeanors related to his participation in the attack on January 6th. One of those charges was forcibly assaulting, resisting, opposing, impeding, intimidating, and interfering with police with the intent to commit another felony. This is who you choose as the chief law enforcement officer of the United States of America to hire at the Department of Justice. Someone on video yelling, "Kill him," at police officers? Right?
I believe he was pardoned by President Trump.
Oh, he was pardoned. You're right. You're right. Pardoned by President Trump for his offense. Pardoned for yelling, "Kill him," at police officers. And yet you expect hardworking police officers across the country to believe that you take law enforcement seriously. You could imagine the reaction of so many folks across the country hearing the chief law enforcement officer of the United States refuse to even condemn what that individual whom you've now hired did. But in any event, let's talk a little bit about some of the other divisions within the Department of Justice and what's happened over the last year.
When the congressman plays that video of Jared Wise, a guy who was literally calling for the death of officers on January 6th, Bondi does this classic, "Who was that?" routine. It's a total stall tactic. But the moment the congressman drops the bombshell that Wiza is currently employed by the DOJ, her only defense is, "I believe he was pardoned." Think about that. In any other professional environment, threatening to kill your colleagues gets you fired and blacklisted. At the DOJ under Bondi, apparently, it gets you a badge and a paycheck. It's the ultimate irony for an administration that claims to be pro-law enforcement.
You're familiar with the Public Integrity section of the DOJ's criminal division. I think it's referred to as PIN. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know which presidential administration under which the PIN was first created?
I can tell you what administration that the weaponization was ended under.
I'll reclaim my time. This wasn't a trick question.
You don't get to
Madam Attorney
reclaim
General.
your time.
Madam Attorney General.
Because I don't like it.
Mr. Chairman, will you explain the witness that he does reclaim his time?
Because I don't answer a question to your satisfaction?
Mr. Chairman.
Madam Attorney General, the time belongs to the gentleman from Colorado.
The president under which PIN was created was Gerald Ford. It was created after Watergate. I'm not asking a question, Madam Attorney General. The administration under which it was created was Gerald Ford. When you first started as the Attorney General of the United States, there were 35 people working in that office. There are now 2 people working in that office because you have gutted it. How many people work for the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team in the criminal division today?
Can I answer the question about PIN?
I've asked you a question. How many people work?
You've asked me a question, but you don't want an answer.
How many people work for the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team? You won't answer how many
I'll
people?
answer PIN.
You.
PIN will not be
you know
weaponized.
what? You know what?
What's funny about this?
I'll say to the chairman.
What's funny about this?
Chairman, you know what the answer is? And I think I understand why the Attorney General does not want to answer the question. Because you eliminated the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team last year. So I understand why you don't want to tell the American people who works there.
Yeah, I understand why you don't want to talk about Mohammed Solomon in your district.
In any event,
who murdered people.
Mr. Chairman, will you stop the clock so his time is not wasted by the witness?
I've been very generous with allowing extra time when we have these little disputes.
I understand.
You got the time, Mr. Neguse.
I might as well ask the chairman these questions.
I'd be happy to answer some of your questions.
What's profound, the questions I've asked,
the crime in your district.
asked, Mr. Chairman, are not trick questions. They're not gotcha questions. They're actually basic questions about how the Department of Justice functions and the unwillingness of this Attorney General to answer them in good faith. When a member of Congress asks, how many people work at the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team, and the Attorney General refuses to answer it, it is not a coincidence. It's because she eliminated the team. Why? Because her boss, the President of the United States, is making money hand over fist, $1.4 billion over the course of the last year through cryptocurrency holdings. I think what is happening at the Department of Justice is a disgrace, Mr. Chairman, and I would urge you to gain control of this hearing. With that, I yield back the balance of my time.
Yeah. I would ask the gentleman, does he agree with the standing up of the Deputy Attorney General for dealing with fraud? That's something that's happened in this administration. First time. You talked about PIN. That happened with this Justice Department.
We're talking about this committee.
Mr. Chairman, had you answered the question, had the Attorney General answered the question in that way, perhaps this hearing would have some modicum of resembling something that has typically been fairly conventional, an oversight hearing of the Department of Justice.
The gentleman's time has expired. The gentlelady from Wyoming is recognized for 5 minutes.
Attorney General Bondi, I want to express my gratitude to the President.
If you're a cop on the street watching this, you have to be asking yourself, does the Attorney General actually have my back? Or is she just protecting the people who attacked my brothers and sisters in uniform? It's a massive loophole in their law and order narrative. Then the interrogation shifts to the Public Integrity Section, or PIN. This is the office created after Watergate to make sure politicians aren't taking bribes or breaking the law. The congressman points out that Bondi has gutted this office from 35 people down to just 2. 2 people to keep the entire federal government honest? That's not oversight, that's an invitation for corruption. When he asks Bondi about it, she gets incredibly defensive, snapping back about ending weaponization, instead of answering the question. It's a weak pivot. If you've done nothing wrong, why fire the people whose job it is to prove it? It feels like they're clearing the field so no one can blow the whistle. But the real follow the money moment, and this is where it gets really shady, is the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team. The congressman asks how many people work there now, and Bondi flat out refuses to answer. She starts bickering with the chairman, trying to talk over the congressman, anything to avoid the number. Why? Because she eliminated the team. Now, ask yourself why you'd kill a crypto investigation unit at the exact same time the president is reportedly making $1.4 billion in crypto holdings. That's not a coincidence, that's a strategy. By removing the investigators, they've turned the DOJ into a see-no-evil department for the people at the very top. It's a disgrace to the history of the office, and the congressman was right to call it out. This wasn't a gotcha question, it was a, where did the taxpayers' protection go? Question. What we saw in this hearing was a Department of Justice that has stopped being an agency and started being a shield for the administration. Whether it's hiring people who attacked the Capitol or shutting down financial investigators, the pattern is the same. Silence the critics and protect the profit. If you want to stay updated on the stories the mainstream media is too afraid to touch, you need to be part of this community. We are committed to bringing you the raw facts and the deep dive analysis you won't find anywhere else. Please subscribe to the channel and like this video. It tells the algorithm that transparency actually matters. Join us daily as we continue to hold the powerful accountable. This is the Daily Report, and we'll see you in the next one.